What's going on, everybody? Raiken Profit in the house.
Bonafide hustler here.
And Eric, the college picker.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to Green Room episode number 36. The title of today's show is Amazon FBA Q&A. And since this video is being hosted on my channel, which we decided to kind of, flip-flop back and forth every other week to see if we could get more people coming in and, introduce them to the content. I'm going to be the one that kind of starts this off right now. So my sound is going off in my background right now, and it's really, really distracting me. Okay,
I don't hear anything, man.
Okay, cool. That was really bad. I could not even hear myself talk. I had a commercial going on YouTube. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching. I'm going to pass off the Bonafide. He's going to take over posting the rest of this show. But, yeah, take it over, Chris.
All right, what's going on, guys? So this is Green Room Hangout number 36. Today we're going to be talking about Amazon FBA Q&A. I'm the Bonafide hustler. I reside in Austin, Texas. I flip stuff I find from eBay. Why do I always do that? I flip stuff I find from garage sales, estate sales, yard sales, flea markets, pawn shops, swap meets, and I put it on places like eBay, Amazon, Craigslist, my antique booth, and consignment stores in town. I'm one of the admins in the Green Room. I'll toss it over to Raiken Profit.
What's going on, everybody? My name's Steve, Raiken Profit. Quit my job about 3 years ago to make money online as a reseller. Started with Craigslist, moved on to eBay, Amazon, Kindle Publishing, and now I do pretty much everything. And I love every moment of it. It's a lot of fun, and it's awesome. It really is. I'm going to pass it off to Eric.
My name's Eric. I have been hustling since college. I am now transformed into a healthcare career where I'll work and I'll hustle on the side, and then I'll stop working completely and just hustle my brains out for the rest of the year. And I do everything these guys do minus Kindle Publishing and minus Antique Booth, but I do Etsy, and I'm also an administrator of the Green Room.
All right, so there you heard it. You got 3 of the 4 admins here, and I think the last one is still in traffic, so he'll be here soon. But anyway, yeah, we are the admins of the Green Room. We are a paid Facebook group there, and we also have a website going on as well that has a ton of amazing content. But before that goes on, before we go more into that, we do want to make sure that the sound is good, that that you guys can hear us. This is kind of tripping me out, Raiken, because we're on your channel, and like when I speak, I don't see myself on the screen. So,
oh man, you're gonna have to adapt.
I know I have to adapt, man. I have to be a chameleon, and my skin's gonna have to change a little bit. But essentially, yeah. So this, we want to make sure that the sound is good and everything. And this is one of those shows where the comment feed is going to be one of the most important things of the show. So we are going to be going in and out of that comment feed. And so if you have a question or a comment, you got to put it in there. This is a live show. If you're watching it right now, Wednesday, 8 p.m. Here we are. So I did make 3 Periscopes about this. Raiken has Periscoped about it. So if you heard about it on the Periscope, you are watching the live show right now. And let us know if we sound good. All right, CP, what is going on in your neck of the woods? You still doing FBA pretty actively?
I'm FBA active every week. I'm teaching people how to do it. And my little brother and my brother-in-law, I was actually helping my brother-in-law kind of up his game this week.
Yeah, it's quite the skill. I mean, I was thinking about it today, like, this is kind of a goofy thing, but, I came back from a bike ride. I jump in the shower. I check my FBA, and nothing's changed. So I go into the shower, come out, and my FBA is like $85 higher, right? Just out of one item. And I was like, this is just not. I'm not saying that the showers are correlated to the products.
The shower was correlated. It was showering money.
It's the shower, man. It's the freaking shower, dude. But it's just interesting how the whole process works. It's so different than eBay and all that kind of stuff. You're sending in bulk of items off to a distant warehouse. They're going to take a bigger cut, and then they sell it for you, and you get to hedge it by using their actual customer base, which is phenomenal. So, Raiken, I know that you are probably the better of, well, maybe you and CP. I think you and CP are definitely better than me at FBA. But looking back at the Cracker Barrel days, and then you progress into eBay, and now you have FBA. I mean, is this a natural progression that everybody needs to jump on right now?
Yeah, I definitely say it's a natural progression, and for me, I knew about Amazon, right? When I was doing eBay, but it just didn't feel right. I was mastering my niche, and I was really enjoying doing clothing, and maybe I was a little stubborn too. I thought that was the only way, but I'd say from from doing eBay, Amazon, Craigslist, I'd say, looking back, it was, a natural progression. And one tip I'd give you is don't resist change. You might be doing eBay, having success, and you might be thinking, I don't need Amazon, it's too risky, or the shipping's too expensive, or, I don't want to have all my items in the warehouse, it's a liability. But really, I'd say that having the option to sell on Amazon opens up like all of your horizons in terms of opportunities. Wouldn't you agree, Chris and Eric, that now when you go into a thrift store, and I know you were talking about it last week and even on the phone, Chris, it's too easy to make money now. And we're not trying to sound cocky or like overly confident, but it's too easy. Chris said that because you could find anything and find a platform for it, especially if you're on eBay or Amazon. Really, like you could find any item that will go somewhere and make you some money typically in any thrift store. Would you agree with that, guys?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, where Amazon might have gating restrictions, or you can't, you're restricted for this product, that product. I mean, there's still eBay for that. So if you were only having eBay and Amazon open, I would say that those are the two most important things to have open right now. CP, how was your progression when you started out? Were you Craigslist, then eBay, then Amazon? How did yours start out?
I went from Craigslist to eBay, and then to Amazon, and then to Etsy, and then once you dabble in Amazon, you kind of just like explode your Amazon.
Yeah, one Amazon that I never did, but I don't know if I'm glad that I never did it, but I never did MF, man.
Oh, I merchant fulfilled actually a pair of these Yakima 48-inch bars today.
Did you really?
Cool. Yeah, I sent them off today. They sold for $68. So I do merchant fulfill some stuff still to this day, just depending on the item.
Okay, so let's go into that. I think we sound good now. And let's go into the first question of the night, which is, I just joined FBA. Can you explain what a good rank is and how that works? If someone was to ask me that question, I'm immediately going to resort to telling them about that. There's all over the internet you can find these spreadsheets about top 1%, top 10% of every category. You know what I'm talking about, Raiken? You know what I'm talking about, CP, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
and,
we have a spreadsheet on our website.
We do. We have one on our website if you're part of the green room, but if you're not, you can just type in like FBA sales ranking, and you're going to find all kinds of sheets on Google Images. But Raiken, touch on that real quick. The person just joined FBA. Can you explain what a good rank is and how that works? This is from Brian Zimmerman, straight out of the comment feed.
What's going on, Brian? Thanks for the question. The first thing you need to realize, Brian, is rank isn't going to be equal all across the board for various products. For example, you could have a video game and you could scan it and it'll be a 10,000 rank, which isn't that great. I mean, it's not horrible, but it's really not a fast seller in my opinion. And you could come across a book that's in the book category at a 10,000 rank, and that's a super fast seller. So there's different categories out there, and it's based on the size. The book category is really, really big, so you could have a 1 million rank book, and it's not bad. Like, it's decent. Like, for me, like, it's not super long tail because the book category is growing like crazy. So the bigger the category, the higher up you can go in rank typically, and it means it'll sell faster. Really, rank is just an indicator, like a snapshot in time of the last time an item sold. So just understand that if you're trying to figure out what's a good rank, you need to understand first what category you're in, right? If you're in books, you're going to have to look at the ranking for that category. For books, I'd say under 1 million rank is decent. For video games, you're going to be looking under probably like 7,000 or 8,000. Cameras, you're going to be looking at 5,000 and under. Electronics, I don't really know off the top. Kitchen, there's all these different categories. So you got to get your hands on one of those spreadsheets. I'll tell you guys what, if you, and I'm going to have to ask the admins in the green room if we could do this or not, but what are your thoughts on if they join our email list today, if we could send them all out an email of the spreadsheet?
Yeah, I think we should do that if we have.
All right, guys.
No.
That actually scared me. It frightened me. I saw like a vein pop up in your head. But yeah, if you guys join our email list, because it's going to be the easiest way to send it to you, in the description, get our free book. That'll put you on the email list, and we'll actually, tonight after this show, I'll send it out for you guys, and that'll break down each category. It'll give you, isn't it like the top 1% and the top 5%?
I think it's 1-5. I think it's 1 and 5. I just look at the 1 for the most part. I love the 1 part because the 1's great.
Yeah, I try to stick under 1%. I do want to say, like a disclaimer, some of these, these cheat sheets are good, but like I don't follow them 100% because you just never know with rank. But it's kind of just a guideline. So join the email list. We'll send that over to you. But hopefully that answer helped you, Brian.
Okay, I would say that would definitely help them. Yeah, I was looking at the rank sheet today actually in a Walmart. I picked up home. What's that category with home? Like if someone, okay, like water filters and all that kind of stuff. What category is that? That's home, not home improvement. That's under kitchen. I want it, or something like that.
Home and kitchen.
Yeah.
Yeah, home and so I had to look
it's
at the
kitchen.
category. I had to see what the 1% was, and we were messing with products that were 3% or below. So I like that kind of stuff. The way I play my FBA is completely different than the way Raiken plays his and CP plays his. But you know, I like things to turn within a month. That's just my game. I like that. I don't want to mess with any long-term or even 6-month kind of things, unless they're like electronics that I've picked up for dirt cheap and they have ridiculous sales, potential behind it. Then I'll go into a mid or a long. But that's what my store consists of right now. The only things that are mids and longs are really awesome electronics that are just chilling there, bubble wrapped, and fully disclose what they come with, right? Anyway, so let's go into the feed again. There was another question that I wanted to. Here we go. Okay, never mind. So Brian Zimmerman's asking for that list. We're going to get it out to you. Make sure you join our. Yeah. So like the main thing that Raiken's talking about is 100 amazing items to resell. So not only will you get access to our email list, which has great emails that we've all written, it also tells you when the shows are going to happen. Okay. So that's real important too, because if you're watching the show after the fact and you're commenting, we see it, but it's not very high on our priority list to get to it. So if you watch a live show, then we get to see the comment live and we get to answer it for you. But not only do you get all that, you also get this free guide, which this should be saved to your phone as a PDF. I'm telling you right now, in the midst of the garage sale season, this guide is going to help you out quite a bit. So you get on the email list. It's down below. Look down in the description of the video you are watching now, and you can get on that email list, which will get you the FBA thing that Raiken's talking about, the ranking list, plus 100 amazing items to resell, and access to all the emails. So you'll see. Okay. Scott McFarland has a remark here. FBA is awesome. I don't have to ship each item to customers daily, which is a very, very big piece of the puzzle. Raiken, I know you recently started up eBay again, right?
Yeah, I did.
And you started up eBay for, is it just the love of eBay and just because you know really well clothing and certain things? I mean, you're not messing with all clothing. Now you're like messing with the top, because I know you had a Paul and Shark shirt the other day on my video, right? A Paul and Shark?
Yeah.
That's
so
not an everyday find, right?
Yeah, exactly. I'm trying to really focus on like the high-end stuff, and I've got some inventory from when I closed my store down about a year ago that I'm focusing on selling right now, but I'm not focusing on anything really less than like $40. But yeah, I started up eBay for a few reasons. One, just to make more money, obviously. I got this new townhouse I'm renting. The rent is expensive. I got to pay my bills. Also, I love it. And also just so I could create content about it as well, because I really do enjoy talking about it.
Okay. Let's go into CP on this next question from Marsha Mangaroo. CP, what do you look for in terms of rank when selling in the grocery category, CP?
I've dabbled in grocery, like literally sent in maybe 10 experiment items, and I actually just recently sold one. It was I think like 27,000. Anything really under maybe 50 is what I was buying.
Okay. I'm not approved for grocery right now. It's a full disclosure kind of thing, and I'll tell you the reason why. And I'll tell you one of the reasons why I want to get approved very soon. We were in Walmart today, and we were just scanning random things, and I won't tell you what this item is, but it was sitting very close to the cash register. So that's one thing. It wasn't in the clearance aisle. Okay, this thing was sitting super close to the cash register. Quantity 2. I think it was $1 each. And you had to bundle it together with a DNS, like do not separate sticker, right? So you bundled it together. It's a 2-pack, DNS, sticker, and then selling for, if I'm not mistaken, $12.56 is what you would walk with after the fee, right? And it was like in grocery, cool. It was like, and it was also branded Star Wars too.
Was there an expiration on it?
No. Yes, but it was like far out. So anyway, and it was branded with the new Star Wars movie, so you know that the expiration had to be at least a year down the road, right? So, I mean, I sat there and it was grocery. I was restricted, and I was like, man, what a terrible. This just proves that just being ungated in as many categories as possible is very, very important. So grocery is one of my last categories, and I think auto to get ungated for. But anyway, that was one of the things. I gotta tell you, the real reason why I haven't got ungated in grocery is I know it's gotten harder, right, to get ungated now, and B, I have 5 billion things going on in my life. Honestly, we are running the green room behind the scenes, and it's quite the endeavor that we've all these little tasks that we are undertaking, and there's a lot of big things in the future, and so that's one of the other reasons why there's a lot going on behind the scenes. So, what's up, Yang? It's good to see you.
Welcome, welcome.
Okay.
What's up, Yang?
Mr. Yang, he's otherwise known as Retro Aficionado. What is up, Yang? You doing all right?
Doing good, man. Just fighting that Bay Area traffic, man.
We're talking about FBA, Yang. Do you think you can give us some good information?
Yeah. What do you
All
guys
right,
want to know?
I'm just kidding, man. You do a lot of FBA, I know that. So
I got a question for Yang that's coming in from the audience right now.
Yeah, what's up?
First off, Yang, good to see you, man.
Yeah, likewise, man.
Yeah. You're looking clean, bro.
Hey, got that haircut? I'm just joking.
Marcia wants to know, how do you compete if Amazon is on a listing? So let's just say that you're going to list up, a book, and the book is maybe $25. Amazon's in at $25, and there's no FBA sellers, and it's like a good rank. Let's say it's a 100,000 rank. Amazon's in at $25. They're the only seller. There's no FBA. What are you pricing it at? How do you compete?
Okay, I don't think there's a right or wrong answer. I can only tell you what I do. What I do is I always match what Amazon has it priced at. Because I swear, like, I've done this in the past where, like, I would match, because I think Amazon has an automatic repricer. I know this for a fact because I've matched my price with Amazon's price. And I'll go back in 30 minutes later, and theirs be lower. Then I'll match it again, and then I'll go back in, I'll check it again, and they'll be and they price theirs lower. So I would never price it anything less than what Amazon has it at. Never.
I do the complete opposite. I usually, like, for example, in that situation, I probably would have priced it at maybe like $24.50, like 50 cents under. That's what I do.
Okay.
But I'll admit, I usually don't go in and like check to see what Amazon's doing. I just
and there's other ways. There's other like hacks you can do. Like, if Amazon has something in stock, check how many they have in stock. Like I'll go in and I'll add it to my cart. Then I put 999 quantities. And it's a little hack where if they don't have 999 in stock, it will tell you, well, Amazon only has about 50 of them in inventory. And if it has a low rank, I mean, you can also just wait it out, and then once they sell out, you can price yours higher.
Cool. Awesome, man.
all right, we got some comments coming through from Mike Brem. Grocery is great for replens, basically over and over kind of plays. Do you guys recommend paying for a service to get ungated? Honestly, I'm going to pay for my service to get done. Honestly, that's just one of the ways. We have a really, really good person in the green room that, and I'm just taking his word for it. So I've helped him with like tax advice and tax stuff and this and that. And then he, behind the scenes, was like, I don't know. I think he told the green room one time. He was just like, look, pay for these services, right? Get ungated in these two categories, and the reason why is you can go with, and he said it on a show, but you can go in with 20 other thrifters, and if 19 of them aren't ungated in grocery, and he is,
you're
right?
taking it all.
Yeah, he wins the whole time. So that's the key. And honestly, getting ungated and presenting receipts and all that kind of stuff, that takes a lot of time. So I don't know if this stuff deals with like certain files that you have to upload or whatever, because I know sometimes ungating practices are like that. But I'm definitely going to get mine paid for and get it done. I don't know. What is it these days? It's changed a couple times over, hasn't it, for grocery?
Yeah, there's a lot of people who do ungating, and they run like ungating services, and they don't, like, a lot of them don't offer grocery ungating services because it's always changing, right? It's always changing, and I've noticed a lot of the people who do the ungating services, they like to just have it very passive, where they just send you a file and it's done. And with grocery, it's changing so much, and from what I hear, it's a lot of like holding your hand and walking you through and like trying to figure out like what Amazon wants you to redo.
Yeah. I've heard like people resubmitting like 3 times over, like, and then when they finally get ungated, it's like the most triumphant thing that's happened like the entire month. So anyway, I will. It's just a matter of time, and there's a lot of things that I'm working on right now. Okay, we have eBuck saying watch Raiken's video on polybagging books, because someone's asking about do we polybag books. I don't polybag books, but I will bubble wrap a really awesome one. Let's put it that way. I'll put bubble wrap around it, And if it's a really awesome book, I don't know. I think the last ones I did it on was like some Harley Davidson thing or something. But if it's got perfect edges and it's it's in that category of $70 to $100, I'm probably going to put some stuff around it because I want to make sure that the buyer gets it in that exact condition that I found it at. So, but it's rare to find those kind of books. But if you're sourcing at garage sales, I typically, and Raiken can attest for this because I know when we go to garage sales, this guy's like book. He's crazy for the books at garage sales because you can find textbooks, you can find all kinds of amazing books at garage sales, and they're always dirt cheap, aren't they?
Yeah, dirt cheap like crazy, like a dime or 25 cents. People don't want them. They're heavy. They don't want to bring them back into the garage after. So yeah, a lot of times I won't even scan them if they look interesting. They're so cheap. I'll just buy them all.
Yeah, that's a good play too, man. See, the thing is, you can buy them all, send in the ones that you like, put all the rest in a box, bring it to Savers, get a 30% off coupon, or I don't know if your Savers guys does that, but like ours will hook us up with like cards fully punched out at 30%. It's pretty crazy anyway. So, Michael Cook remarks, if a book has high value, I'll make sure it's wrapped or bagged. So cool. 50 Treasures, Tanya, what is up in the feed? I love books, is what she says. Okay, so let me see. Marcia Mangaroo says, I used one invoice from a wholesaler. This is regarding grocery ungating. I used one invoice from a wholesale manufacturer near me. They approved it within an hour. So, Marcia, how long ago was that? Let me just ask you that question.
Exactly.
Because if that was in the inception of grocery, then I would say I would understand that.
I have a question, because I know a lot of like mom and pop grocery stores here. They will buy their some of their supplies at Costco. So then, if you bought groceries at Costco, do you think you can use that receipt? Maybe.
I don't know. I go to Costco all the freaking time, dude. Like all the time.
Because I know. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I said I would if Costco's allowed, and if it seems pretty easy the way to do it, I would totally go in that way. Because Costco has items that are on deal every 2 weeks. Okay, every 2 weeks their coupons change, right, or something like that. So you could probably go in and find grocery items that maybe you don't necessarily make a profit on them, right? But you send them in the quantity of whatever they want to send you. The last time I ever heard it was like 30 items or something. This might have been a year ago.
Like I said, because I
send
know
them in like that,
I know some local merchants here. They will buy their stuff at Costco and sell them. So I'm just curious. I don't know. That was just a thought.
Yeah, if that's the way that you can do it, and still you need to ask Costco for an invoice. That's the way Amazon wants it. Yeah, so that's not hard to do. I've asked Costco for invoices for a lot of my business expenses. At the end of the year, when it's tax time, I'll be like, hey, I want you to highlight bubble wrap, for example, right? And I want you to give me a receipt for every time I bought bubble wrap in the past year. Problem is, it doesn't come out.
They can do that?
Yeah, but the only problem is it doesn't come out on one page. It comes out on like 30 pages because I bought bubble wrap 30 times at Costco last year. So anyway, that's kind of weird. I'm like, okay, I can practically hear the tree vanishing from the earth because of how inefficient this whole printing thing is, But anyway, all right. So let's talk about. There's not many profits at Costco. Honestly, the last thing that I bought at Costco, I bought 30 of them. I haven't sent them in because I actually like to consume them. Wheatgrass powder, which Raiken thinks is not good, but I put it in all my smoothies, and I spent. Oh my gosh! I think $5 for each one. I bought 30 of them, and they're on FBA and I'll walk away with $22.10 or something like that. I know, but I didn't send any of them in because I actually like them a lot. So I'm actually using them and like consuming them. Okay, so yeah, Aisha is getting some clarification on the Sam's or Costco. You can actually ask the customer service to give you an invoice instead of a receipt. So there you go.
Okay.
Maybe it's. Yeah, you know what? Now that I'm seeing this, it sounds relatively easy. I might
worth a try, man.
I might take a stab at this next week or so. I would love to say this week, but there's too many things going on. Okay, Trisha Y, do you ever polybag new sealed puzzles? I'm new.
No.
If a polybag is what you have and you have a whole lot of them, see, this is the thing about the polybag thing, is they tend to be kind of costly because there's only a certain amount of. When I buy polybags, I buy the ones that plush animals can go through. I buy big ones, right? And if I need something small in there, then I'll fold it a couple times over, right? But if I need something really big in there, then you either have to have bigger polybags, and that's kind of hard to find. I think what is the largest size that's made out there? Is it a 1914? What do you know, Raiken?
I'm not sure, to be honest with you.
Okay, because I think 1914 is like the largest that Amazon will sell with a peel stick back in the 1.5 millimeter. I think was it 2 millimeter or is it 1.5? What's the guideline for Polybag? It can't be some piece of crap bag. It has to actually be a certain millimeter, right? And it doesn't have to have the suffocation thing on it, but you have to make sure you put a sticker if it doesn't have one of those on it afterwards. The puzzles aren't going to get protected with a Polybag, but if you bubble wrap it, right, then that's a different story. So when I have something that's super conditioned like that, the last thing I bubble wrapped that I sent to FBA that I can recall that was bad, awesome. I want to say badass, but anyways, that was a little bit of cussing. Was a Strategio game that I've picked for $5 at a Goodwill, and I sold it for like $90 on FBA. But it was a 1984 version in plastic at Goodwill, sitting there on the shelf. I'm like, how did this thing even survive? So I'm sitting there like, okay, now it's going to go through Amazon's processing, which I don't think it'll survive that. That's where I bubble wrapped it. So
yeah, it doesn't hurt to polybag if you have a big enough polybag. I do have the largest polybag data that Uline makes right here, which is. Oh,
you're going Uline. I was just going off eBay and Amazon. Like I think
there's probably bundles on there, but 18 by 30 and 22 by 24 are the biggest ones that they make.
Okay, is that with suffocation or no suffocation?
Yeah, it's suffocation and it's sealable. No, it's open-ended. Sorry.
Open-ended, so you have to still put tape on it, right?
Yeah, but it's gigantic.
Okay. Yeah, so that's good for like the big plush things too. There's always little things that you learn, and quite honestly, I'm going to tell you with the utmost confidence that I learned a majority of what I know through FBA because of the green room. So, and thanks to Yong too, who trained me 2 years ago. I gotta say thanks about him. He walked me through my first FBA shipment and a little bit of my second, and that was that's all I needed to get hooked. And from there, I proceeded to get burned on, a fair amount of items for a year. Not burned, but I didn't make as much as I wanted to, and I didn't understand the ranks. Like I think the way you understand the ranks, honestly, is you have to mess up. You have to mess up, right? You got to have a couple things like, I don't know, 4 to 10 things a year that go into that long-term storage thing. You have to mess up a little bit, and you have to see, and you go, man, that took forever to sell that book. Like, what the hell? And that's how I learned, right? And that's where a lot of mistakes are made. Would you say that's true, CP? When you started eBay or you started Amazon, I mean, did you learn just because you were hungry to make money, or did you learn because you bought a course, or how did you do it?
You learn not just from the mistakes, but you learn from it's like, okay, I just bought a shoe with a 75,000 rank and it sold out in 3 weeks or something. Like, wow, that's a pretty good rank on that thing. So just like you learn based on that also.
Yeah. I'm the kind of person that learns from fair amount of mistakes, but then I consult with, when I start really absorbing the information that's in my own group, then I realized like my learning curve was so much quicker, right? But
yeah, you picked it up really quick.
Yeah. But anyway, so yeah, if you are wondering about the green room, there's a link below. I think the very first thing to do is if you're wondering about what is it like to be in the room, you can ask in the comment feed right here. I'll leave it up to the members to say what's up, and we believe that they're going to give an accurate representation, whether good or bad, about how the room is. But that being said, there's still some free stuff that we can give you in the background. So there's a link down below, and you can get the free guide that we've created. Spend our hard-earned time on that guide. Many revisions over. Then it went to a graphic designer, and so yeah, it's a good guide. And then we also have these emails that how many emails do we have now, Raiken? We got so many emails with amazing content just chilling in them, right?
Yeah, we got a lot. We definitely have a lot of content that'll go out to you guys as well. So yeah, we're definitely excited. If you get on that list, you'll definitely get a lot of cool stuff, and I think it'll help you guys out a lot. I got a question though, going back to what we were talking about, Chris. In terms of rankings and learning and stuff, I agree with you. I've learned a lot personally from mistakes, but also from successes. I've learned a lot from seeing what people post in the green room. Saying, hey, I sold these pair of shoes from Marshalls. It was a 30,000 rank. Then I went out and mimicked it as well. But I got a question. How do people deal with the subcategories? Because every once in a while I'll scan like an electronic or an office product or something along those lines, and it'll say like a 5 rank, but it's actually a subcategory. And I think that's because of the Amazon Seller app doesn't break it down. Eric or Yang or Chris, what tips do you have for people when they scan something? How do you know if it's actually like an amazing rank or if it's in a subcategory that's really small and the rank's coming in low? You think it's amazing, but it actually stinks.
If it's in a category on the app that's not on our main category list, then it's a sub rank. If it's a rank in that whatever like 25 categories that are broken down on Amazon, then it's the category rank. I think Amazon's shifting a lot of their data around, and they haven't updated the app, or the app doesn't sync with the website exactly correctly. So sometimes you can go to the website and get like an overall category rank.
All right, I think CP is maybe out. He'll come back in here in a second. Maybe his internet's kind of...
Yeah, it was pretty choppy. I thought I was freezing.
Okay, we got a comment. Yeah, so here's Dan had at it. If I suspect something is a subcategory, I rely on the reviews. You know, that's a really good thing, Dan. Reviews are one big part of the puzzle, right? I usually don't touch many things that are 3 out of 5 stars. I don't mess with that. I like to see 4 out of 5, and I like to see 4.5 out of 5 all day, or even 5 out of 5s, but that's a little rare sometimes. So, but yeah, I don't mess with the 3 out of 5. At the 3 out of 5, you're kind of rolling the dice, like whether it's a good hustle or not. You might get a return, and then once you get a return, then you have to get a return to you, and then, or maybe it's resellable. Who knows? Yeah, that's a perfect transition into the reviews. Whoa, what is going on? Okay, Raiken, are you like flipping the screen around?
I don't know. I was trying to send you a message, and it did something weird. Let me flip it back.
I think it did.
Okay. What happened when I hit that button?
Like my face was on the screen, like really big. Anyway, a couple of amazing comments coming through the feed about the green room, so maybe I'll read them here in a second. But yeah, when it comes to the subcategory, I usually find subcategories when I go into the actual, my laptop. That's where I can really look into subcategories. CP, is that an accurate way to say it? Like when I'm actually researching the prices that I want to charge for when I have my product already bought, right? That's when I figure out the subcategories is in that stage. But you're saying that people can find out subcategories in the stage of the app, you're saying?
You can look at it. Let me see if I can find an example. But a lot of like Office products will come up with.
I see Office a lot.
It'll come up as it'll be like #1 in Office products, but it's actually like number like 105 in Office products. 105 is in like actually like 105 products there, so it's like completely confusing to people.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
But it does, for some reason it doesn't. The phone will say Office products, but when you go on the computer, it says fax machines with phones or whatever.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. Like I don't ever see it on the phone, but when I get on the computer to price my stuff out, then I realized, oh damn, this thing's like in this subcategory, or it's sold in both, but is it in both categories? It's one in this one, but it's like a 156 in that other one. Am I reading that right? CP.
It's my internet's cutting out.
Okay.
I heard parts of the question that it was just like.
I think you have sub-internet. Just kidding.
I definitely have
your internet's
sub-internet
in a
here.
subcategory, man.
Oh, dude.
Your internet's ranked well, but it stinks.
I'm visiting, so it's not my internet.
Yeah, when he calls the person to like fix his internet, this like really small person comes along. It's like half the size of a normal person, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm the sub dude. Everything is sub here, like smaller everything. Like his tools are all small. Everything is super small." Anyway,
I got a question.
There's some questions coming in, right? You want to ask them?
Yeah, I got a good one from MJ. The question is, and I'm going to pass this off to Yang. Yang. This is the question from MJ. I have a toy that scans as a puzzle. I can find the correct toy by description, and Amazon shows a different UPC. Should I ignore the incorrect UPC and just post it to match the item?
Wait. So there's 2 listings?
No,
so
when he scans the item, it comes up as something different, but then when he manually searches it, is that what you're saying, Raiken?
It's a confusing question, but I think that he or she, I can't tell, is scanning the product, and it's coming up as a different product. So it's supposed to be a toy or a puzzle, and it's coming up something else. What do you do in that situation? Do you create a new listing, or?
Okay, so if the picture is okay, so in my opinion, there's 2 things you can do. Okay, if the picture is off, If the picture is different, what some people do is when they'll create a listing under that listing, they'll just post their own photo saying this is the photo that I have, or you can create a new listing. It's up to them.
Okay. We have more questions coming in. Brian Taylor, do we recommend any services for the multi-state sales tax? Who can answer that one?
The only service.
TaxJar.
Yeah, the only service I know of is TaxJar. I don't use it. I don't know if any of you guys do, but I think they make it pretty hands-off for you in terms of I think that your Amazon will sync with their program, and like they'll be able to know what sales you have in different states, and then it kind of breaks down what you have to pay. But I think you're going to still have to register in each state and everything. And I'd actually like to talk about that a little bit right now. Like, what are your guys' thoughts on registering for each state? For me, my dad's a CPA, and this is what he told me. He says, listen, like nobody's coming after anybody right now. You're safe right now, but it doesn't mean that 5 or 10 years down the road, I don't know what the rules are in terms of how long they could go after you for, but it doesn't mean that in the future they can't come after you. They're known for doing that. They're known for making rules, and they're so big they can't even enforce them because they don't even understand them. That's the crazy part. These laws are so complex. The CPAs, the attorneys, nobody understands. You call the IRS, you get 5 different answers. Nobody understands it until like finally everyone gets on the same page 4 or 5 years later, and then they come after you. But the question is, right, is Connecticut going to come after you for $8.12, right? Is California going to come after you for $44? I mean, they'll probably come after you for $400 or $4,000, right? So personally, I'm not doing it right now. Is that the right answer? Is that what you should do? I don't know. But right now, they're not really coming after anybody, but that's just a risk that you're going to have to take down the road, I'd say.
I think it depends on your sales, too. If you're doing, $1 million sales per year, you might want to consider it. But if you're a part-time guy who's just trying to supplement your income, I personally wouldn't worry about it. Again, don't take my advice, though, and because I don't want you coming back 5 years from now and say, yo, sir, don't worry about, just, again, that's just what I would do. But,
hope you said it on record.
I know, huh? But really, the best thing to do, guys, and we keep saying this over and over again. I mean, if we give you guys any tax advices, man, you guys are gonna get yourself in a lot of trouble. Talk to a CPA. I mean, they're the ones that can legally give you advice.
You ask 5 of them, they give you 5 different answers.
Exactly, but but that's what they're there for. Just
yeah. Put the blame on somebody.
We just filed the taxes for the green room, right? And I brought them to a lady that's not a CPA, which she is my trusted tax lady for like 10 years. And, there was one little thing out of a cell that needed to be in another cell. But anyway, so Steve's father caught it. And, that's one of the things is as your business gets larger, you're going to want to probably have a double check kind of mechanism as well. That way, appropriately what to pay. So, but it's very important, yes. To Steve's point, when you're, if they're going to come after you after $40 or $100, doubtful, right? When we would, I think, for certain get pursued by IRS if we didn't file correctly, right? And I have actually been pursued by the IRS back in 2013 one time, but it was my fault. I actually did not even put forward my 1099 eBay 1099. I couldn't believe. And I was like, oh my gosh, and I was like, how did I even miss that?
Well, you didn't claim your income? Is that what happened?
I didn't claim my 1099 from eBay. I put in all the other information, right, like cost of goods sold and like my projected. It doesn't matter, right? They want to see that 1099 that, because they're looking at PayPal and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, it was kind of a bit of a disaster, but I still
don't get what that means. They want to see the 1099. What do you mean by that? The 1099 is just the proof. The 1099 gets sent to them, so that's a checks and balances. So when you get a 1099 from eBay, the government's seeing that. So I'm trying to understand what you're saying.
I didn't have a 1099 in my tax prep. I had because I think it was in that time of where they put it online, right? They went to that like no more paper sending you 1099s, right? And I was so used to it. So then I went to eBay, had to download it, and I realized, oh crap, I hadn't sent this in. And it's also, they were posting a little bit more than what I had reported, right? But I still contested it anyway, and I still got my tax burden down to a very reasonable amount, which I paid like right away.
Is that why they came after you? Because the 1099 was showing, let's just say, $5,000, and you only claimed $3,000, so they
No. It was showing X, and I showed, I think, like $4,000 less than X.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. So there was a discrepancy. Okay, I get it. All right.
But it's pretty funny. I was like, they sent me this, like, I think that's the IRS going, okay, well, you owe this much, right? Then I had to prove all this, a little bit more cost of goods and a couple other things. But then I got my bill reduced from, I think it was like near 6,500 to like 2. So, the IRS comes after you for money that you usually owe them or some discrepancy in the way that you filed your taxes. But since then, it's been perfectly fine. And I know I owed that money to them, right? It's just one of those things. All right, so yeah, Scott McFarland, you need to find a CPA that understands e-commerce. That's a great suggestion because, now with the advent of the internet going, so rapid, and now there's so many internet-based businesses. Businesses are lean now. They're so lean that look at all these businesses that are like on YouTube that are selling merchandise and products and all that kind of stuff, going to all these different states. It's crazy, man. That wasn't even there like 5 years ago, 5-10 years ago.
There's going to be a lot of changes over the next 3-5 years. I'd say even over the next year or two. Us online sellers, we're gonna start having to pay a lot more for taxes. It's gonna happen. There's no way around it. We've been so freaking lucky. So lucky. I don't care what anybody says, they're gonna get us. They're definitely gonna get us, and I guess rightfully so.
Yeah. I would definitely say my advice to all of this, and this is just, you can take it with however you want to take it, figure out your town and figure out all the ways that you can hustle. Not every single way that you hustle is the reported way. I guess I could say it that way, but I'll leave it at that, and you guys figure that part out. But anyway, so yeah, let's answer some more questions here. Going into the feed right here. CPA is good. Mine said the same. That's Steve. It was not worth it at this point. That's from James Tucker. Okay, so here it is. Aisha S. I saw in a program that at ASD, and one lady's advice was that eventually the states are going to catch up and everything will go digital. At that time, they will be going after online sellers. So there you go. Thoughts on using sites like OA, X-Ray for online arbitrage? Rob F says, that sounds really shady, Chris. Look, okay, everyone knows the Craigslist game, so know your Craigslist game. I'll put it that way. Know your Craigslist game. I'm sorry. How many more times should I say that? Everyone does Craigslist. Craigslist is wonderful, Let's talk about how about going your own state sales taxes exempt form. There you go. That's a good one. I definitely do that for my antique mall a lot, or not a lot, every time.
Do you guys use your tax exempt form at thrift stores and stuff like that?
I personally don't, man.
No, I don't.
I don't even have one. I don't even have one. Is that crazy?
No. I personally don't. But when it comes to the and honestly, I have the sales tax exempt form for the antique booth as well, but then honestly, nobody in the antique thing, when you get rusty gold, you're paying them in cash anyway. So you have to have a ledger. It's so important. When you have a little receipts ledger kind of thing, I wish I could show you guys mine right now. But that's why I take around to garage sales and all that kind of stuff, because that was from my tax professional saying, hey, look, if they come after you, then having something that you've written in every day with maybe some mileage to accommodate it is very, very important. So that plus date plus the address you bought the item at, plus this and that, they want to see that you're tracking this kind of stuff. That's the most important thing, is that you're tracking it. It's just like the mileage thing. If you just say X amount of miles per year, and they go, okay, you know what, we don't believe that. I think the cutoff is 25,000. After about 25,000, there's a little bit of a red flag that throws up there, right? But anything less than that, typically, you'll be good to go. But my tax professional also says, just have, go really, 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 crazy with recording it for about 3 months, and then extrapolate to 4 times 4. So 3 months, nonstop, you document all your mileage. And I think MileIQ, is that one of the things, Yang, that you use?
Yeah, that's one that I use.
So you can do MileIQ. I just do handwritten, man. I put my odometer. I put my odometer.
I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you do it.
Look, I am literally stopping every, you can go out to dinner at some part of town and go see thrift stores, pawn stores, and come back. You write the whole damn thing off. You write it off, right?
Well, the
I don't
same
really
thing.
go anywhere without thrifting. If I think about it, I don't really go anywhere without trying to actually stop somewhere.
Well, same thing with MyLockU. You just log it the way you want to.
I know. I like it on a sheet. That way, I'll just, I'll give them a freaking zip drive, and I'll be like, here you go. Here's all my
Look,
stuff.
man, this is how easy it is. Okay, you log it on your app. At the end of the year, this is what I did. You print out the report, hit print. That was it. Took it to my CPA. He goes, "Oh, that's the most easiest way to do it."
Okay. It can't be easier than what I do, which is just a sum function in Google Documents, which gives me the exact same thing. And if my phone crashes or anything happens, like at least it's in Google Docs. It's Google. Anyway, whatever. All right. So we have Holland Hobbies in the house. We got Golden Finger Picker. What's going on? You know what? I'm going to ask people out there right now. This is a little bit off FBA topic, but we're going to actually ask this question out there. How do you guys record your garage sale finds? I mean, regardless if it's FBA, you're going to flip it on eBay, sell it locally. How do you keep track of all that stuff? I want to ask the people out there because, there's a way that I do it. There's a way that eMoney does it. There's a way that Craigslist Hunter said all cash, baby. It's pretty funny.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
How do you guys do it? How many people do we have in this Hangout room?
He knows the game.
136 people in the house, Chris.
136 people are telling us also, like, after this broadcast, delete this. Just kidding. It has all this. We went off topic, but it's funny. Yeah. So everyone's saying there's crickets, right? Look at how many crickets are going on right now. You see this in the feed?
That's a lot.
Either nobody's like, I just write it in a journal and throw receipts in a drawer. You don't get receipts from a garage sale, just so you know.
Nobody wants to talk about it.
Yeah, no one wants to talk about it. Okay, so use a notebook. Description, price, address of garage sale. See, Mike Decker's on too. So that's what you guys got to do. Shoot, I'll just show mine right now. If we want to see it, this is so off topic, but it has to deal with FBA. Let me just tell you. So here's mine right here. You can find this at Office Depot. It's a money rent receipt. There it is. And in this is all of the places that I've visited. Not all of them, but this is all the ones from, I think, halfway of last year into this year.
Oh my
Look at
God.
this. Yeah, it's just every garage sale I've been to.
What are you doing, dude?
Because I'm making sure, dude. I'm making 100% sure. Look at this. Down to last weekend. A Terry Redden puzzle, 1,000 pieces, $1 from 8102 Ladera Verde Drive. The garage sale before that, 6825 Tanaqua Lane, a Sony CCD TRV 108 camcorder, $7.
Oh,
Look at this. Lucchese Ostrich boot, size 12, $5 from 6426 Arden Lane on 4/16/2016. So that's what you got to do, guys. And you can get that as $10 away from it being in your car. So go to Office Depot, Office Max, assuming they haven't closed down yet, and get yourself one of those things. Yeah, so that's there you go. I get every goal. Okay, check this out. Golden Finger Picker says I get every garage sale to write me a receipt. Wow.
No
he
way.
doesn't.
No,
he
he's screwing around.
Yeah, there's no way.
I would love to get that on video. That would be a million views.
There's no way he's doing that. He's pulling out legs. There's no way.
Yeah.
Maybe he
Anyway.
is, though. You don't know.
So yeah, and then here's kind of something real quick. I also take that information on every Sunday and I put it into a Google Doc. Okay, so my ultimate year would look like if the IRS ever says like, all right, we want to see all this. I'm gonna thumb drive them my Google Doc, or give them the link to it. I guess they can whatever. And then if they need any more than that, then I can just throw them this book. I can do all that kind of stuff. So. And then I have a really interesting way of doing my paperwork now and all this kind of stuff. It involves manila folders and envelopes and all this kind of stuff down to like big box store or thrift store or pawn store. And then it's like a touch it once kind of thing. So I'm very big on touch it once. Once you get the receipt, put it in an envelope at the end of the month, look at the receipt, put it all down in a Google Doc, throw it back in the envelope, seal it with, seal it, and then throw it in a manila envelope. And the only way you'll ever open it again is if you get audited by the IRS. You'll just send them the whole manila envelope thing plus the zip drive thing, or zip drive, but the little thumb flash drive, and there you go.
And I believe I think my father was telling me you have 2 years, right? So after 2 years, I believe they can't come after you. That might be the state. I'm not sure if it's the federal or the state. I don't know if anybody could touch on that. But he told me 2 years for something. I don't remember what it was, though.
I think
but
federal is like 5.
But they say you should keep your records for 7, right, Steve?
I'm not
I heard
100%
5 to 7.
sure. I have a lot to learn, so.
Yeah.
You know,
Again, we're not experts, man.
I'm just a guy on the internet.
Yeah. Well, like, what do we know, huh?
You don't take tax advice from a guy on the internet. You take anything that has to do with taxes or legalities, you take it with a grain of salt, and you don't make your decision on it, right? Anything that we're talking about today, guys, you all have to understand, like, we're just guys on the internet trying to do the best we can. Like, we've educated ourselves to a certain extent, but we're guys on the internet. You got to talk to these professionals because, again, what maybe a rule that I have to follow that my father tells me as a CPA, maybe it only applies to me in Connecticut, right? There's different laws for different states and different things and different businesses, so you really got to talk to somebody, like, in all honesty.
Okay, so Marshak Mangaroo says 7 years. I've heard 5, but yeah, 7. Okay, so we don't want this to turn into a big tax show, but I thought it was just very funny how when I asked that one question, it's like really funny what happens. But anyway, yeah, you know, you got to go into a lot of detail. You got to go into as much detail as you can, and that's really what it comes down to. If they see that you're meticulous and you have a lot of detail going on and you're very organized, you know, there's a high chance that they're, you know, going to be like, all right, we went after the wrong person on this one. Like, we're not going to get any money out of this guy. Like, you know, so that's what I'm saying. You know, they came after me for like 65 or something like 6,600 back in 2013. I presented all sorts of stuff to them, brought it down to like 2. I mean, that's really what it comes down to. You know, you have to, if you want to pay less to the IRS or you want to pay the accurate amount, record it all and treat it like a real business. I mean, that's all I'm doing. I'm treating it like a real business, and a real business has documents and it has, you know, ways it's all filed, and it's very professional. And if my house goes up in flames, then I know that it's still on the Google Doc, right? Like, that's the reason why there's like that safeguard in there. That's the reason why you do it every Sunday or every month. I make sure to put, you know, the monthly receipts into the Google Doc, because you never know what's going to happen, right? So you got to have stuff in the cloud. All right, let's go into the feed. More FBA questions.
Craigslist Hunter goes, internet never lies.
Mike Shelton says, if they see organization, they will tend to leave you alone. Absolutely. So Aisa S. from Young's comment, whoever makes their decision based upon someone else has to take responsibilities for their decision. You got to do your own research. Don't be lazy about things and try to blame someone. I love that. Thrifty Treasures, I think I need to look into the Google Docs. You know, honestly, if you have a Gmail already, you have a Google Doc ready to go. All you have to do is go into Google Drive on your phone. Download Google Drive for your phone if you have a Google phone, but if you don't, just go into Google Docs on the internet and sign in with your Gmail, and then it'll bring you this, like, dude, there's so many documents in there now. You know that? It's not just Word and Excel type documents. You can pick scheduling documents, all this calendars. It's amazing, and it's all stored in the cloud. So if things go wrong in your house or your computer blows up, it's in the cloud. I mean, you will be able to get it in 2 seconds. So,
but also, I think some of you guys are using GoDaddy bookkeeping, like I am. You can scan your photos into GoDaddy, or if you buy stuff like I do at garage sales, my CPA told me to take the picture of what I bought and just put in how much I paid for that product into GoDaddy. You can
do all kinds of.
It just depends on what you prefer. I mean, I'm paying for GoDaddy, so that's what I use. Chris obviously doesn't want to pay for that, so he uses Google Drive. It depends on what you guys want to use.
Yeah, there's one way. I think I'm going to do it a little differently, like maybe I always tend to like try to perfect myself every like year at around like the June time, because that seems to be when the most garage sales come. So around June, I start like not freaking out, but I'm like, all right, what's a better way to do this to where if something happens, my computer blows up, or if things catch on fire, that this stuff is really up in the cloud. So there's a cloud company called Colocation. There's something. It's some cloud company that it's really cheap. It's like $10 and you'll get like almost a terabyte in the cloud, right? Which try to fill up a terabyte is super hard to do.
Oh, it's
like damn near impossible. Like it's so hard. Even being a content creator, try filling up a terabyte hard drive, and it's like pretty hard to do. So having a terabyte up in the cloud, I mean, you can put everything up in there, and it's really important to start thinking. This is the future, right? These hard drives in our computer or these paper things, all this kind of stuff is just. This is like wagon wheels if you think about it. So I'm trying to always think like, what's a way that I can have a cleaner house and do it like Young's saying. You snap pictures of the things that you buy. Even if you went to like Walmart, you know, before you put it all to FBA, or you know, you snap a picture of everything real quick, and that way, you know, categorize it as this date. There's the picture. There's the proof that I bought everything. It's clearly there on the shelf. and then you send it all in. There's a lot of ways to do it, but yeah, there's something up there, I don't know what it's called. The company is really popular, though. It's a very safe company to work with. A lot of the business people work with it.
Shoe something or?
Huh?
I think it's called Shoe something.
No, it starts with a C. I swear it starts with a C because I see the billboard next to my house like a lot. So, but I'm doing it for, reasons other than the tax thing. I'm doing it because I don't want documents to my house anymore. Like, I'm doing it for that reason too. Like, I don't want stuff everywhere, and I think everyone in every house in America, not everyone, but a lot of people have a bin with like documents, right? Doesn't your father have bins with documents, Steve?
Yep.
I mean, just things. And if a fire comes, it's all toast, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, screwed.
It's Carbonite. That's what it's called. Carbonite. There it is.
Steve, I got a question for you. So, do you know, or can you ask your dad? So, if you scan a receipt, do I need to keep the hard copy?
I'll double check with him, but I believe you. In my opinion, I don't think you do, as long as you have a record of it.
Okay.
But be curious to know what people in the comments say.
Let me know
I'm
what
on
you
the
guys
50-yard line.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So here. Okay. Oh, here we go. Oh, wow. Carbonite's kind of expensive. Oh, it's a year. Never mind. It's actually really, really affordable. So check out the Carbonite.com personal plans page, and you guys are going to be like, oh, my gosh, this is amazing. So there you go. Carbonite. That's the one that everyone's talking to us about. You know what's funny, guys?
Yeah.
Is that this FBA show just turned into a tax show for like...
Oh, I know, completely.
It's a hot topic, man, after the 18th.
I'm telling you, man, it's kind of funny. Golden Finger Picker says, let's share receipts. Someone's having rice and beans for the next few months. That's pretty funny. That's Heart Pickers. After April 4th. All right, there's so many funny comments coming in. Heart Pickers, I can't afford crab legs after April 18th.
I want to know in the comments section, I want to know, did you wait till the end of the year to pay all of your taxes, or did you guys pay estimated taxes, each quarter? I want to know what you guys have to say in the comments section, since we're all up on this tax issue.
Yeah, I'm curious to see the answer.
Because I didn't feel it that bad. I'll be honest with you. I didn't feel it that bad, and I had to pay a ton of taxes, a lot of taxes. And I didn't feel it that bad because my father set up the estimated sales tax and the estimated income tax each quarter. So every 3 months I'd send out, a check to Connecticut, and then I'd send one out to whatever, my income one. I forget where it goes. So I wasn't stuck with a huge bill at the end of the year, which I feel like helped me out a lot. Like, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think it's something that people should definitely consider if you're going to be making, if you're going to be showing like 40 or 50 grand profit or 100. I mean, definitely I would consider it unless you're really good at budgeting your money.
Right. I think it's this difference between escrow. Well, escrow is a little different than that. It's kind of the same thing. Like here's W United Blood. I never pay estimated taxes because that would take working capital out of the business. And quite honestly, I kind of feel the same way about that. If you ship off 2 or 3 grand a month, not a month, but a quarter, let's say, for example, to the IRS, that's 2 or 3 grand you don't get to play with on a local level too. I mean, it's a couple things that you can flip pretty. That's a lot of bikes to flip too. There's a lot of things that you can do with that. So you either give your money to them or you give it.
I guess if you need the money, like if you've got money in the bank account and like it's just sitting there, you might as well just put it forward unless you've got something to use it. I mean, I don't know. I guess it depends on the person, right? I guess it depends on the person. You make a really good point though. If it, why have it just sitting there? I think don't they pay you interest on it? I'm not 100% sure. I think they pay interest on it.
Well, that's the people. Sales tax, state sales taxes every 3 months. That's Julian. Yes, for my antique booth.
Depends on the state, though. Some states require monthly. So again, certain things are going to change based on your state, from my understanding.
Yeah, mine's every 3 on the antique booth. It's super easy to do, and that's all done online. I get a sheet of paper at the very end, put that in a little file thing, and boom, there you go. Okay, so. Let's do some housekeeping stuff. I'm very. This show has taken quite some time.
You started it.
Well, I didn't start it. It was someone else in the feed.
Whoever it is, if we find out who you are.
But it's really important stuff, though. When I think about it, it's really, really important things. I'm glad I got to show people like the garage. This is garage sale season, guys. You got to be tracking the stuff that you find. I don't care how you do it. Just get really adamant. This fits perfectly with FBA because when you go garage selling Yang, right, or Raiken, we're finding books that go to FBA. We're finding all kinds of stuff in electronics and this and that. You got to track this stuff. You really do, because I mean, there's so many things. When I was doing my FBA stuff last year, and I saw some of the things that I'd flipped, and there was like one of the things that I'd flipped was like I bought it for $5 and it sold for like $279.99, and I was like, oh my god, you know, like. But I had it in my book, like I knew what it was, and I totally remembered on top of my head. But I was like, you know, this is the kind of thing that could throw up a pretty good red flag. Like one item like that already is just like, holy crap! Like we have to make sure we make our money on this guy from that, for example. I could have, yes, said like I paid 70 for it after seeing what it sold for, but I'm not one to do that. I put in the book what I paid for it and the deal that I got, and that's pretty much it. I really work on my negotiation skills at garage sales really heavily, so I really don't try to. Garage sales are the best. I love garage sales too much, man. I really think I'm like addicted. It's just too much fun here in Austin. When you guys come into town, you guys totally know what I'm talking about. But it is so addicting in this town. Okay, so someone told me if you start paying quarterly, you don't get back to not paying quarterly. That's Stacy Staggs. Ooh, there you go.
Really? Wow.
Brian Zimmerman, can I write off a stop top for my Jeep if I am using it for business?
Okay.
I wouldn't see why not. Quite honestly, my tax professional will figure out a way to get that done. But yeah, I mean upkeep. I mean you can do it two ways, right? You can do mileage or you can do upkeep and stuff, right? But this seems like it's pretty crucial for you to do your business, because if you don't have a roof on your Jeep, then all your inventory gets all ruined. So it's no different than having a refrigerator on a box truck, right? You couldn't do your business if you didn't have a refrigerator, right?
It's all technical stuff. You're gonna have to ask your CPA what they think.
Yeah. Anyway, James Tucker, Austin's a great town, blah, 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 no roof. Pretty funny. Okay, so let's do some housekeeping real quick, because I feel like housekeeping is like the way that we Beverly Hills 90210, like this entire crowd. You know what I'm talking about when I say that?
Donna Martin graduates.
Beverly Hills 90210 was a really popular show back in the day, and it's like a show that if you watched it at the right time in your life, you kind of lived vicariously through the show, right? It was kind of cool, and you knew all the characters and all that kind of stuff. So one of the things we do at the very end of the show is a housekeeping kind of segment, because it kind of tells you what's coming around, right? And it tells you what's going on and how things are kind of faring with the Green Room. So Green Room's at 525 members, so we feel like that's a pretty good thing. We're always working on amazing new content in the background that no one ever sees. But the latest thing that we have launched in the past 3 weeks has been the website. Actually, probably up for like a month and a half now, it seems like.
Yep.
But it really seems like a large bulk of our people have now come to the website and are checking out all the videos and all that kind of stuff. So, Raiken, really quickly, what is in the Green Room website for someone that's like not in the Green Room, thinking about joining? I think the Facebook group is probably the most amazing part of the Green Room, but what else do they get behind the scenes after the Facebook group?
Yeah, so I'm actually on the site right now because we've launched so much content lately on the Green Room University behind the scenes, like Chris says, so you can't see it. If you log on, it's going to say exclusive for members only. So if you do join, we've got training videos behind the scenes on eBay and Amazon and a few different topics. So I think we've got probably 40 or 50 videos just in that archive. We've got private shows going on every single week. We've probably got about 10 or 15 private shows. The Facebook community, of course, but that's not the website. We've got a Bolo video every week or every 10 days. We've got a Bolo recap video that is a really cool segment that the College Picker's been running, and just kind of sharing a bunch of Bolos and kind of recapping a lot of cool finds that people are coming across. Because that's one thing about Facebook, guys. You know, someone might share something really cool on Facebook, but then it's lost in the feed, and people can't consume the content. So we've got the Bolo videos going every week or so. We've also got member videos now. Members are posting videos, so we've got a section for that in the website. And that's pretty much it. We launched our blog that's open to the public. We've got recommended products.
Do you want to share the screen of the main page real quick? I mean, do you think you can, just for the people out there?
Well, if they just go to the greenroomuniversity.com, you can check it out right now. So greenroomuniversity.com, and you'll be able to check out the blog and all that stuff. So.
Okay, cool. So there's that real quick. We've been getting questions quite often about the the meetup that's happening in July. As you might know, we like to take care of our green room members by hosting an event each year. So the first event we had, I think 24 people show up. The second event we had 57 people show up. And the third event now is going to be capped off at 100 and I want to say 40. It's really 130, but we have a 140 privilege. How do I say it? We have a cap of 140 technically with food. So we have 140 slots on our next event, and this is going to be classified as an event. There's no more dinner or any of that kind of stuff. This is no hodgepodge thing that we just put together real quickly. This is a real deal thing, and we are working with an actual venue in town, not in town, actually in the ranchlands of Texas. So that's going down on July 9th for green room members only. And since it's being classified as an event, there is going to be a little bit of a cost to it. But at the same time, I mean, what better way to chill and like talk to all like-minded people than to just be sitting there, eating good food, being in the ranch land of Texas, you know, drinking adult beverages maybe if you want.
We've got a DJ, dance floor.
Dance floor. We're going to have all that. Door prizes, giveaways, all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, I'm mostly in charge of that. Raiken's helping too, and that's going on. We are also in the works and the process and the steps, I guess I should say. I'm really like having trouble with my words today. Of marketing or having a partnership with a individual that has a lot of influence in the space that is garage sales, estate sales, and all that kind of stuff. So I'll leave it like that. We have a potential partnership coming up that's going to be really cool. It happens to be an individual who's also interested in buying yard sale treasure map. So just think about that. So anyway, I would think that would be so cool, man, if this individual bought that. But anyway, so we have that going on, and then Raiken announced. Raiken, so like I was on your Facebook the other day. This is the last thing we're going to cover. We're 6 minutes over, but I'm sorry. This is the last thing I'm going to cover. I got to say I'm really proud of you, all right, because you had a transformation picture that you shared on your Facebook, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So can you tell people where to find this transformation picture and what it kind of entails? But it doesn't do due diligence. You have to see the picture, right?
Yeah, on my personal page, Steve Raiken. So if you look up on Facebook, I posted a picture from what I was looking like, and you guys might want to like hide your eyes. But I posted a picture of what I looked like about a year ago with my shirt off and what I look like now, because I've lost about 30 pounds or so. You know, just working out, diet, and you know, adopting a vegan diet and all that stuff. But yeah, I appreciate you bringing that up, man. Feeling good.
Feeling good. So Raiken lost a bunch of weight, and if you want to see the transformation pics, go to his Raiken Profit Facebook and check those out. But when I was like scrolling through my feed just randomly the other day, I was like, whoa, here's a half-naked Raiken. I got to look at this. And then I was like, oh my gosh, like this is like a real good transformation. So I got to say congratulations on that. But everyone go check out that picture.
Thanks.
That's pretty much it. Y'all got anything for housekeeping? We got to get out of here?
No, I mean, that's pretty much it. I mean, if you guys have any questions for us, I mean, message us on Facebook, I guess.
Yeah, I'm going to be, that's pretty much it, I guess. In about 2 to 3 weeks, I'm also going to be in Florida, so I might have a Florida meetup, don't know yet. I'm kind of tossing up, it's in the Lauderdale, Naples area, so I might have a little meetup. I don't know yet. So pay attention to my Facebook as well. If you're in the green room, of course, there'll be some like special green room stuff. But all right, so that's pretty much it. We're done with the show, which is Q&A FBA, which mysteriously turned into tax show. But we appreciate you guys spending the hour and 8 minutes with us.
Hit the like button.
Yeah, hit the like button.
We got 120, 130 people watching. Only 50 likes.
Yeah, hit the like button for shows that change halfway through and become a completely different show. Anyway.
We had a guest that was planned, guys, just to kind of give you a background. We had a guest that was planned, and she had some issues with her internet company and everything. She was moving into a new place, so we're going to try to get her on maybe next week or the week after. So we kind of had to improvise last second to put together a show. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it for sure. Again, hit the like button. if you like shows that lead you in one direction and then go another direction. We had fun, though. Hopefully it helped. Hopefully it added value to you guys. If you're interested in the Green Room, go to greenroomuniversity.com. We now have a monthly option as well if you're interested in joining, and you can get all that awesome stuff that we mentioned. Also, if you want that category breakdown of all the best ranks to focus on, the top 1%, 5%, you know, in home, kitchen, video games, all that stuff, join the email list below. Go to the description, get the free book that'll opt you into the email list. And after this show, I'll send out a broadcast of that download so you can get your hands on that. But again, thanks for watching. Hit the like button. See you guys in the next video, and peace on the streets.
Bye-bye.
Bada boom, bada bing. Show's over.